Good morning, YouTubers. This is Wayne with Tractor Retirement Living. Today I want to do a little video on the joystick and a compact tractor. I know there's a lot of young tractor drivers out there that that's got their first tractor, and I'm probably not telling them anything they don't already know. But I did get a few people asking me to demonstrate the joystick, and then also talk about some people don't understand the principles of a third function versus a diverter valve, and I plan to go over all those today in this little video. It's not going to be a long video because it's not much to cover, but I'm going to try to be thorough, and for anybody that doesn't have a full understanding of these options, I hope after this video they will, and they'll be able to make a decision on what they want to do with their tractor in the event they want to go with a third function or a diverter valve. So y'all stand by, and I will get everything set up, and we'll start this little video. Thank you so much. All right, as you can see here, I'm about to start the tractor. Tractor to run. I grab my joystick. I go up, pull hard to me, and the bucket goes up. It'll go up to as high as 8 feet, 97 inches. I go push forward on my joystick, and the bucket goes down. Pull back, it goes up. Pull to you. If I go pull to my left, it curls up. I go to my right, it curls down. Or it dumps. Going back to the left, curling back up. Going back to the right a little bit, dumped, and pushed forward, went down. Pulled back to me, it goes up. Right here, I pushed forward and went down. All right, here I'm curling up and coming up at the same time. This is a feature that some tractors don't have. Here I'm dumping and going down at the same time. Here I'm just coming straight up, leveling off. This, I just put it in a float mode. If I push my stick straight forward and lock it in, it only it's no down pressure on the front end at all. It's just runs level with the ground. It just rests on the ground. It's the weight of the bucket. And you use that a lot when you're spreading, fine tuning stuff, when you're spreading rocks and dirt, stuff like that. Here I'm curling down. I'm gonna go down here. That's on the put it in the float mode right there. Here I'm gonna go down and put a little down pressure, and that's gonna pick up the front of the tractor. You see how it's picking up. I didn't pick it up too high because I didn't put no sense of putting a lot of pressure on it when it's necessary. Here I came back up with it. That's back in float. I dropped it down on float. Sometimes when you got your bucket angled like that and you float, it does real well. Here I'm curling back up. I'm going back down. And that includes that demonstration how that joystick works. Okay, guys, I didn't show y'all. I couldn't show you, but anyway, I was filming from the outside so you could see the motion of my hand and the bucket. And if you look on the front from the cabin, you can see this rod right here. That rod right there. Walk around the other side and I'll show y'all better. This rod right here is a level indicator. So when that little gullet is right flush with this right here, that means your bucket is level to the ground. Now that doesn't correspond to every piece of equipment or implement you put on the front of this thing. So you'll have to learn, like if you have a root grapple and you want to go level to the ground, best thing to do is get out, see where it's level with your lift all the way down, with your front end all the way down, and mark that, put some red electrical tape or something like that on so you know where that is. Twigs and stuff like that, any kind of thing, because you don't want to be digging into the ground, you want to run level with the ground. So any implements you got besides this bucket, because this was calibrated to the bucket that came on it, that little notch right there is what I'm trying to say. So you can use that when you're doing bucket work and it's pretty accurate, but when you put a different implement on there, the angle of that implement may be different from what that bucket is, and you'll have to keep that in mind when you're doing work with it. I found the easiest thing to do is just set what you want. You can see everything from the cabin pretty well, so I haven't marked any marks on mine, but that was something I thought about doing. I just hadn't done it yet. Anyway, I just want to cover that real quick because I didn't know you can't see that when I'm the last video I took where I was just raising it up and down, but I wanted to cover what that level indicator is all about. Thank you. Alright guys, I'm back in my tractor, and what I'm going to do here, I went and put the grapple on so I can demonstrate what a true third function is. If you look around at my joystick, you can see that my joystick has two buttons on it. One of these buttons is to open the grapple, the other one is to close the grapple. This one is the way I got the hose hooked up, that opens my grapple. This one closes my grapple. So as you can see the grapple on the front of the tractor, I'm going to raise it up a little bit more. And this finger right here, I'm going to use this button right here. When I press that button, it will open my grapple. I use this finger on my second button, and when I press that, it closes my grapple. Now, with having a true third function on here, you still got the liberty of using your curl. Well, you can curl up. Once you pick a log up or some trash up, you curl up, you go to your pile, you can curl down, and of course you open your grapple and dump everything out. So it's great to have a true third function. Still got you up and down. See, I can go up, I can go down. If my pile is high and I got a big old load of stuff on there and I go into my pile and I go over the side of a dump bed truck, you can go up like that. Then you can go ahead and curl down like so. And when you get curled down, you open your grapple and you can dump everything in your trailer. Then you come on up to clear the sides of your trailer. You curl up to clear the sides of your trailer and you're back on out. So that's the beauty of having a true third function. You got your two buttons. One is dedicated, opens the solenoid to let the fluid flow one way and to one cylinder. You know, I have a double top up there, and I like it because when I pick up logs, and log is fatter on one end than the other end, both of them will go down and grab it, and the big side will catch first and it'll hold on, but the other side will keep traveling until it grabs the small side, and you're done with that. So basically that is how a true third function works. Now if you're looking at that indicator that I showed earlier, you'll see when I put it there, it's a little bit different from my bucket. When I go all the way down with my bucket, with this grapple, it's kind of digging. It's not far off, but it's kind of digging, so I like to look to the side and see exactly where it is. I haven't remarked it because it's not very far off. But anyway, and then if you can see the bottom rake on my grapple, the points kind of stick up anyway. So it's kind of hard to dig into the ground unless you really curl down. But anyway, that's how that works. Now I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about how the diverter valve works on a tractor. I'll hang tight. Alright guys, now I'm going to talk to y'all about how the diverter valve works. If you see right here on my joystick, I got two. This is a true third function. One button, like I just demonstrated, will open my grapple. The other one will close it. Now, when you put a diverter valve on your joystick, you're sacrificing your curl function for opening and closing a grapple, or running a PTO, a hydraulic pump, post-toe digger, or if you're running a stump grinder on the front. All that runs off of hydraulic motors. You have no PTO that goes to the front, no mechanical PTO to turn that motor. So you have to run it off hydraulic motors. That's how front function equipment works. You have a brush cutter that's run off of hydraulics too. It turns the hydraulic motor, what turns the gearbox, what turns the blade. So when you're dealing with front end work, you got to remember that everything is powered with hydraulics. So when you have a diverter valve, you only have one button, and what that is doing is it's got a solenoid that they put in place to divert the fluid flow, your hydraulic fluid flow, from your curl function to whatever. Your curl function, it's hard to explain, but your curl function is still there. But when you activate left to right, it's diverting that oil. As long as you're depressing that button, it's diverting that oil instead of to the cylinders that curls your bucket. It's diverting that oil, that hydraulic flow, to the hoses that's going to your grapple or whatever you're running up front. We're going to use grapple. That's a real simple explanation. So if you hold that button in and you curl to the right, depending on how you have your hoses hooked up, that grapple is either going to open or close. Let's say you curl to the right, it opens. All right, you let go of that button, you got your curl function back. So you got your regular front end load curl function back. So when you go let's say you go down and you pick up, you press that button, you curl to the left, curl to the right, and you open your grapple, and then you go down because your up and down motion is always there. Your up and down motion with your joystick forward or back is always there. You're not sacrificing it. So you hold that button in, and you open your grapple. Then you go down and you pick up the log or debris or whatever you're picking up. You pick up the object that you're picking up, the material you're picking up. When you get down, because remember your up and down is there, when you get down on it, you keep that button pressed in and you go to the opposite way. You go left and it closes your grapple. Okay, now once you grabbed what you're going to pick up, you let go of that button, okay, and now you can pick up what you want to pick up. And let's say you go and put it in a dump trailer and you got to curl up. As long as you're not touching that button, you have your curl function to your right and your left. You still have that. So as long as you're not touching that button, you can still curl up. You can go over the side of that dump trailer. You can curl down. And when you curl down and you're ready to let go of what you got in your grapple, that's when you press the button and you go back to your right or your left, whichever way you got your hose hooked up. As long as you hold that button in, you're going to divert that oil from the cylinders that go to your curl function on your front end loader to the cylinder that's on your grapple. So you hold that button, you go to the right, your grapple opens, the debris falls in the trailer. Guess what? You let go of that button, You go back and curl back up to clear the side of the trailer, and then you pull on out with it. So in all practical explanations, the diverter valve is just a less expensive way to get that function on the back of your tractor. Is it more efficient? No. Some people say they get used to it, and once you, just like any other control on a tractor, once you drive it a while and you get used to it, it's second nature to you. So yeah, third functions will get you where you need to be as far as picking up trash and all with a grapple. The diverter valve will get you where you need to be as far as picking up stuff, doing everything a grapple can do. A third function is just a little more efficient because you don't have to remember to hold that button in to curl one way to open your grapple and curl the other way to close your grapple. So that's the difference between a diverter valve and a true third function. True third function is another third function. Your tractor comes with two functions on the front. Up and down, that's one function. Side to side curl and dump, that's the other function. And then you put a diverter valve on, then you got to sacrifice your side to side curl and dump to run a grapple, we're going to say in this instance, with holding that button in. And then a true third function is you got number one, up and down with your tractor. Number two, curl and dump. Number three, press one button opens, press the other button closes. So that's actually, when people refer to a true third function, that's what they're talking about, the two button system. Both of them are considered third functions, but one's with a diverter valve and one is with a true third function attachment. So I hope that cleared it up a little bit. I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to show you another way that you can get a third function on the front of your tractor by not using your joystick at all. Hang with me and I'll go over that with you. Okay guys, you get around here on the front of my tractor and you see right here I got two couplings, hydraulic couplings. I got them tie wrapped off right here, but those hoses go all the way up there and they run to the back of the tractor. And I got them running here along the arm and they come down here, and I put a coupling right here because it hooks to another 10-foot. These are two 10-foot hoses. They hook right here, if you can see. And the reason I did that, because if I ever take this loader off, I want to be able to undo these, and these hoses will stay with the loader, along with these four that I take off that stay with the loader, and along with the third function remote that I can take off, all that stays with the loader. So I ran two 10-foots, a pair to the back, a pair to the front. They hook up right here. They go under the tractor. They come around to the back, and they come back up right here. All right. And I got them routed where they don't get in the way any linkage or anything like that. Then I zip tied them with some heavy duty zip ties, and they're just hanging right here. All right, so what I do with this, this is an inexpensive way to get a third function on the front of your tractor. So what I would do is I would come here and I would hook up these hoses to this yellow spool back here. And the reason I use the yellow spool, that's the spring-loaded, that's the spring-loaded lever I have up front here. The red one, is a detent right here. So I hook it to my yellow one because I can go one way, it jumps back in place. I can go that way, it jumps back in place. So what I'm doing here is, depending on how I have that hose hooked up in the front on my grapple, I may go back and it opens, I may go forward and it closes. So that gives you that motion, that gives you that third function on the front of your tractor. I actually did that when I bought this tractor. I ordered a grapple, and when I got the tractor, I got a WR long third function that was ordered by my my dealer. And the thing about it was it didn't come in. They didn't have it in stock when I got the tractor, and it took it about 3 or 4 weeks before they shipped it to me. And this is it right here. I put it on myself, and it's like a $900 addition. If you have a dealer do it, they charge you another $400 or $500 to put it on. But anyway, that's kind of, you know, I mean, I saved $400 or $500 doing it myself. It's not very hard to do it. I'll do a video one day to show y'all how easy it is to do. Looks like I got a little bit of a leak here. I need to tighten up. I'm seeing a little shiny oil running down right there. I'm going to deal with that if I finish this video. But anyway, so before that came in, I had my grapple and I was anxious. I wanted to use it, and I'd got a Ironcraft grapple and I wanted to use it so bad. I had a lot of stuff I needed to move. I had some logs, some twigs, a bunch of trash that I needed to pick up with. And I said to myself, I said, how can I utilize my grapple without having my third function? And I thought, well, dummy, you got 2 remotes on the back of your tractor. Go buy some hoses and use your spring side of your remotes, your spring lever, and use your grapple. And I got to thinking, I said, do I want to spend $200 or $300 on hoses and fittings and all that just to use my grapple, or should I wait 2 or 3 more weeks? And then I got thinking, I said, you know what, I'm going to be building a power pack, a 3-point hitch hydraulic power pack to go on the back of this tractor. And when I build it, I'm going to need those hoses to run to my power pack. So, I mean, to run to the front of the tractor. So I said, hey, spend the money on the hoses. So I bought the 2 hoses, the 4 hoses, the 4 10-foot hoses. I bought them off of Amazon. I bought the fittings off of Amazon, and I think that was like $260 for the 4 hoses and the 4 fittings. And when it came in, I was excited. Amazon shipped them to me. I had them in 2 or 3 days. I went ahead and put them on, got them up here, ran the route, ran it down here, hooked them up front. My grapple came in. I hooked my grapple up. I hooked these hoses. These hoses that go to my grapple, I hooked them up to those hoses, and voila, I was in business with a grapple. Now, you're on your joystick and you're going forward and backwards and side to side for your curl and dump, and you're forward and backwards, and you just have to stop when you go. You open your grapple, you hit that lever on your fender, and it opens your grapple. Then you reach up and grab your joystick. You go down, you get what you think you need to get. You go back and hit that lever, you close it, then you go back to your joystick. So it was a little less convenient going back and forth. But hey, look, I ran this thing for a week and a half and got used to it. But that's an inexpensive way that's really an inexpensive way to do to put a third function on the front of on your front end loader, if you don't want to spend the big money. Now you can buy these kits. You can buy a WR long kit and put it on yourself and save you some money. You go to their website, you put in what kind of tractor you got and everything, and they got a kit for it. And the instructions they send with it is real good. Explains it real well. It's got good video. It's got good pictures. And then you can go on YouTube and find somebody that's done it already and watch that too. Anyway, I just wanted to cover how to get a third function on the front of your tractor with not spending a whole bunch of money. And that comes in handy, like if you just bought a place, you're doing a lot of clearing and you use a grapple a lot, then yeah, it may be worth it to invest in the third function or the diverter valve system, either way. But like hoses, you know, if you don't use a grapple, you don't own a grapple, you don't have anything, you need a third function far in the front. But all of a sudden you got a bunch of post holes to dig. You can go get a pretty inexpensive 3-point hitch post hole digger and put on the back of this tractor and dig holes. The only thing I don't like about them, you got to kind of have somebody with you to guide that thing, because the 3-point hitch kind of go down an angle. Once you get started, you got to kind of back up a little bit to get your hole straight. But you can go rent a post hole digger from a rental place and put it on the front of your tractor, skid steer attached post hole digger, put it on the front of your tractor, run those 2 hoses. You'll have them hoses forever for it to do, and you can actually dig those post holes by yourself. You can look at that thing, and you can actually put a mark on your level indicator arm when that post hole, that auger is perpendicular or level to the ground to dig a straight hole, and you'll know where to put this, and you can use that application and dig a good post hole, and you do have down pressure, which you don't have on the back. So you go down and you hit a root or a rock or something that hangs you up. Guess what? You can hit that. You can hit that lever the other way and spin that auger the other way, and come back out of the ground with it. So that's a added convenience to using a post hole digger on the front of your tractor. Anyway, I hope y'all found this video educational. I'm gonna get off now. I hope I answered a lot of questions for people that aren't familiar with third function and diverter valve and the difference between the two. So I'm gonna sign off now. God bless y'all. Subscribe, hit notifications. You got any questions, any comments, send them to me. I've been doing tractor work a long time. I feel like I know a good bit. I can probably answer any question you got and tell you the right way to do it. I can tell you how you can get around it and not hurt your tractor. I can tell you I've done it all. So see y'all later, and y'all have a good day. Thank you.